Recommendation 4. Confiscating the proceeds of crime is a critical part of the global fight against money laundering, terrorism financing, and other forms of serious crime. Recommendation 4 prioritizes this confiscation by considering all the important global conventions like the Vienna Convention, the Palermo Convention, the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, and the Terrorist Financing Convention, which mandates countries to ensure that they have policies, legislative measures, and operational frameworks that prioritize asset recovery in both the domestic and international context. Recommendation 4 was last revised in October 2023. These revisions included FATF's asset recovery standards and glossary definitions related to asset recovery. Let us now see what are the obligations under this recommendation. Prioritization and asset recovery frameworks. Governments must prioritize asset recovery efforts. This requires a clear legal and institutional framework to identify and recover assets acquired through illegal activities. The process should focus not only on criminal prosecution but also allow for the freezing and confiscation of assets during investigations, ensuring they are not hidden or moved. Criminal property and property of corresponding value. Recommendation 4 outlines that it's not just direct criminal proceeds that should be confiscated. When such assets are no longer available, or have been spent or hidden, authorities should have the ability to confiscate property of corresponding value. This ensures that criminals cannot evade justice by concealing their illegally gained wealth. Provisional measures. To prevent criminals from dissipating assets during investigations, authorities need powers to freeze or seize assets quickly. Provisional measures allow for the temporary freezing of assets suspected to be connected to criminal activity, safeguarding them for future confiscation once sufficient legal evidence has been acquired. Confiscation. Once assets are proven to be derived from criminal activity, or of equivalent value, they must be confiscated. Confiscation is the key mechanism to ensure that individuals involved in criminal activities do not benefit from their actions. This also includes assets indirectly gained through illicit activities, not just those directly linked. Asset recovery and tax authorities. Tax authorities can play a vital role in asset recovery. Criminal wealth is often hidden through complex financial schemes and tax evasion. By empowering tax authorities to collaborate with law enforcement, illicit assets can be traced more effectively, ensuring that these assets are recovered and that criminals face penalties for both criminal and tax-related offenses. Asset management, return, and disposal. Once assets are confiscated, effective systems must be in place for managing these assets. Governments must ensure that the value of confiscated assets is preserved and that these assets are eventually returned to their rightful owners or disposed of according to legal guidelines. In some cases, the assets can be used to support public services or further fund law enforcement activities. By focusing on asset recovery, provisional measures, confiscation, and the management of recovered assets, countries can significantly disrupt criminal networks and prevent individuals from profiting from illegal activities.